Darius Butler is a guy that I met at UConn. One of those players that, like had his head on his shoulders, ended up having a 11-year pro career in the NFL, played for the Colts. And now he co-hosts a podcast called the Man to Man podcast, and he discusses all things NFL, covers it every week. They even cover the bets, who to bet with. It's Bet with DB. He covers all of that, the lines and different things. So as we know, the Super Bowl's coming up, and I'm like, I need to be talking about the Super Bowl. And of course, I'm going to you, Darius. So, Darius, tell me what I need to know about the Super Bowl.
Yo, Darius Butler, Everything DB, co-host of the Man to Man Pod. We'll tell you everything you need to know about this Super Bowl. Super Bowl 55 being played down in Tampa, Florida. Now, the Tampa Bay Bucks will be the first team in NFL history to actually play the Super Bowl in their home stadium. Shocker that it's Tom Brady. His first year away from New England after 20 years of dominance, 9 Super Bowl appearances. Now his 10th will be at home, making more NFL history. Now he'll be playing against Patrick Mahomes and the defending Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs are the last team to actually hand the Bucks an L this year. Back in Week 12, they whooped up on them, beat the Bucks in the regular season, which was actually the Bucks' last loss of this season. Got all the way to the playoffs, won 3 games on the road. Went into the playoffs as a 5 seed, the Buccaneers did. Won 3 games on the road to ultimately end up back at home hosting their Super Bowl. That's crazy in itself. Now, on the other side, the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, his career has been off to, the hottest start that I've ever seen, I know. His first year as a full-time starter, won the regular season MVP, was knocked out of the playoffs in the AFC Championship game by, guess who? Tom Brady, when he was on the New England Patriots. And that was actually Patrick Mahomes' only loss as an NFL pro in the playoffs. So now they meet again in Super Bowl 55, down here in Tampa Bay. You'll have one of the hottest offenses ever with Kansas City Chiefs and the weapons they have. Tyreek Hill, phenomenal wide receiver. You got Travis Kelce, who's putting up record numbers at the tight end position. You just got players and weapons. Obviously, we talked about Patrick Mahomes and the play callers with Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid. And then the guys on defense who don't get enough credit, who in my opinion, really won that Super Bowl for them last year. They had 3-4 back-to-back stops to continue to get their offense the ball to win that Super Bowl last year, led by Tyrann Mathieu, aka the Honey Badger. Then you got Chris Jones up front. You got Frank Clark up front. You got Dirty Dan Swords. You got Juan Thornhill. You got playmakers all over that team, and they all came back to pretty much run it back. So that's their goal. They're the favorite right now, the 3-point favorite going in right now. Getting a little close to the Super Bowl, that could change. Odds could change. The biggest question mark for them is their O-line. They lost one of their best O-linemen with Eric Fisher. He tore his Achilles last week against the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship. And that'll be something to worry about when you go over to this other side with the Tampa Bay Bucks, because they have a 2-headed monster on defense coming off those edges, starting with JPP and then Shaquille Barrett, who's been a dominant force for these last few years. On the second level of their defense, you got Devin White, Levante David, arguably the best linebacking tandem in the league. And then behind them, you got a young group of guys in the secondary, Carlton Davis, Sean Murphy Bunting, who's got 3 interceptions this postseason, which is pretty much unheard of. A lot of guys don't have 3 interceptions in their postseason career. He's got it all in one postseason. They are down 2 of their starting safeties. Hopefully they can make it back for the Super Bowl, having this extended rest time. But we'll see. Todd Bowles done a phenomenal job with that defense down the stretch. They were able to somehow, some way get a win against the Green Bay Packers, even though Tom Brady didn't have the greatest second half. Threw 3 interceptions in the second half, but found a way to make the plays at the right time. The biggest one that stands out to me is the big play he made down the field to Scotty Miller right before the end of the half. That's what Tom Brady does. He makes the big plays in the big time moment. So you got this team led by Tom Brady, Bruce Arians, the head coach. You got a plethora of weapons as well on this offensive side of the ball. You got Mike Evans. You got Chris Godwin. You got Scotty Miller, who we mentioned before. And then you got Antonio Brown, who came on later in the season, who, as we all know, and if you're not a football fan, Antonio Brown was the pretty much consensus number one receiver in the NFL when he was in Pittsburgh, and then some things happened on off the field. He made his way back to Tampa Bay, got to the mix, got hot, got banged up early in the playoffs. Hopefully he makes it back into this Super Bowl lineup and just adds to this fireworks. You got Antonio Brown, Scotty Miller, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, you got Brate, you got Grump, you got Fournette running the ball well, you got Ron Jones running the ball well. I mean, you got weapons all over this field on both sides. It should be an exciting matchup down here in Florida. I'm looking forward to it. You should be looking forward to it as well. Super Bowl 55. I'll be tapping back in. Something must have changed. I'll be tapping back in with you guys when it gets a little closer to the Super Bowl. Thanks for checking me out. Shout out to Renee Montgomery. You know, the UConn homie. Remotely Renee. We here. Everything DB.